Hey everyone, Tender Toe here. I wanted to demo a couple of pieces I've been working on. This is a DIY side stretch hammock. I used the idea from Knotty's thread on Hammock forums for instructions on a side stretch hammock. This is the exact same dimensions, I believe, as the Wilderness Logic's snipe hammock. It's 11 feet long by 58 inches wide. And it has the side stretches on sort of both sides, so you can alternate head and foot end. You're not locked into sort of one configuration. So I'm going to walk up and take a look at sort of how I approach this. So this is 1.9 ounce ripstop. This is from my DIY gear supply. So I bought 12 feet of that. Obviously, it's sold by the yard. Bought 12 feet of it and just hemmed up all the edges. You end up with a channel in the top edge here, sort of. You know, obviously, in the way that you sew it determines whether or not you end up with a channel up there. But I sewed a channel in the side pieces, and I used Knotty's method of burning a small hole in the side, the sort of channel here. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but there is a small hole burned in the channel there. There we go, maybe you're able to see it there. Small hole burned in the channel, and this is shock cord run through there. And this is, instead of a cord lock, I used, this is half of a triple fisherman's bend with an additional piece of cordage on there. And you can use that just like a cord lock. I believe Chicken Wing posted that on Hammock forums a while back. So basically, let's walk through from end to end. We've got, on this end, basically most of the directions that I read had just a small portion, say 15 or 20 inches or so from here to here, and then again on the foot end of the opposite side. I decided to go with a full side stretch. I'm not sure if that's going to be better or worse. It adds a little weight, but for me, not having to sort of determine where my head would be in this end or on the other end, it ends up not really affecting the lay at all, as you'll see when I hop in here. But so basically what I've done is there's a sort of a hole burned on both sides. Let's say that's a foot from the end of the hammock, and the same thing on the foot end. So I've got a hole burned here, and then on the opposite side, I've got a piece of, this is 1/2-inch webbing, just sewn in a loop, and I've attached the shock cord through that loop with a cord lock on this end. I've ran the shock cord through the channel and to just a bit past the halfway point on this side, and then the other side you can see it's sort of the same way but reversed, where it's a little bit more than halfway on the opposite side. I've sewn a additional 1/2-inch piece of webbing here in a loop, and both the pieces of shock cord from both sides are attached to this loop. So basically the pressure then is not going to be on the small burned hole in the in this area here. It's going to be actually pulling on this piece of webbing, which is reinforced actually to the to that hem on the channel of the hammock. So at any rate, so you've got a piece of shock cord that runs from that side all the way down. It pops out here and ends with a cord lock and is attached to that piece of webbing. Then you have the same thing for that end as well. You have a cord lock, a piece of shock cord that runs all the way through and ends up getting attached to a piece of webbing on this side with a cord lock. So basically it goes on both sides. The channel runs on both sides. I'm going to hop in here and show you sort of how it ends up reacting to having a person inside of it. I have a ridge line that's on this as well. Let me hop in. So once again, you can see sort of the way that the side stretch is affected by the way that you lay in it. It kind of just comes up around you when you sit in it. You can see sort of a foot box is formed there. And yeah, it's really nice. You know, it's compared to many hammocks of this size, or really of any size. You know, see how it kind of just conforms to you, the side of it there. You know, with many hammocks, this would be flopping in your face. You know, any of this stuff here would just kind of be flopping on you. Whereas it's nice to have that side stretch material. It just keeps everything kind of taut and away from you. I'm going to also demonstrate a Franke-inspired bug net that I made as well that works really well with this hammock. But yeah, I like the design of this. I like the length. It does definitely. I'm about 6'2", and it's nice to have that extra length. I went with the structural ridge line here. This is the tech line from my DIY gear supply, and I went with 83% of the length of the hammock for that, and it really allows a nice flat lay, a nice sag. Basically, you know, I can't say enough about this design of a hammock. The length, you know, of course, if you go with something commercial like the Wilderness Logic, or I'm sure there's going to be some other companies coming out with similar dimensions. It's just a really nice design. It's a nice, roomy hammock, and the side stretch it's really nice to not have that falling in on you, you know, on the foot box. For me, the foot box was not really that big of a. You know, I mean, it's nice, but for me, the bigger part was this side stretch, you know, where your head is at, because that was something that was always very annoying. And I've actually, in hammocks, you know, like the Blackbird, the Warbonnet Blackbird, you know, this, especially when you don't have the bug netting zipped, you know, if you've got it thrown over the ridge line, this can just kind of fall on you. And I've, even with the bug netting zipped up, I've actually gotten bit through, because this is a single layer on the Warbonnet Blackbird. If this just kind of flops on you, you can have, you know, mosquitoes and such can actually bite you through that single layer, because the double layer stops, you know, here or so on a Blackbird. So at any rate, this side stretch is a really nice feature. It keeps everything intact. And I'm going to throw the bug net on this and sort of demo it. I'm going to have a separate video strictly just for the bug net and the dimensions and such, but I just wanted to include how this looks with the Franke-inspired bug net on this, because it's a good pair. The you know, this 11-foot DIY and the Franke-inspired DIY bug net. It's a good pair. So I'm going to pick it up here. So this is the Franke-inspired bug net here. The nice thing about it is that you can kind of pull it off. You can do this with most any bug net, I'm assuming, but you can kind of pull it off to the side there and have it, you know, have the hammock just by itself. And then if, you know, things get kind of buggy, you can pull it over the hammock. So basically, I altered his design a bit. I have some Omni tape on the portions that go over the suspension. So what you do is you just kind of undo the Omni tape there. And you slide this over the hammock. Kind of like a big snake skin, I guess, when you think about it. It's a really great design, very easy. It was actually the easiest thing that I've sewn thus far. Bug netting is just, in my opinion, no-see-em is very simple to deal with. So at any rate, you take this and you cinch that over the ends with the Omni tape. Do the same thing on this end. Cinch that over the ends. The original design just has this open, which I'm sure it doesn't really affect you know, the way the bug net performs, but I kind of like the idea of putting an extra little bit of Omni tape there just to kind of keep things in place. And it's actually nice to put the Omni tape so that the suspension exits at the very top. Because once you enter it, it's going to kind of come undone a little bit, and if the suspension's at the very top, it's you know, it's not going to, when you sit down, it's going to do that. So you might as well just set it there from the get-go. So yeah, once again, this is the Franke-inspired bug net. Very simple. You can see how it kind of hangs on the hammock there. It leaves enough room for an underquilt under it. It's very easy to get in and out of. Let's take a look at, I'm going to actually post a separate video just of the bug net to kind of demo a bit more about it, but I wanted to show how it works on the actual hammock here. So getting in and out, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is It's got a around the rim of it here. It's got just a channel with a cord lock and some shock cord. This is stretchy though, so you can just kind of hop inside. So you can kind of see how it, how you kind of enter and exit, and you can adjust this from inside as well. But you can, you can cinch the netting down, or you can let it out. I use the same knot there. You could use a cord lock, but I just use the sort of half of a triple fisherman's bend there. So you just kind of step in here, and it conforms right around you. I mean, this is, in my opinion, this looks, almost professional, I guess, in appearance. Meaning that, you can imagine this being, any professionally made sort of hammock duo. I was kind of impressed, with myself that I was able to actually make this. But yeah, plenty of room in here. You do need to have, in my opinion, you need to have a ridge line of some kind in order to actually hold this up. But yeah, the side stretch works really nicely with this bug netting. It keeps everything off of you. And yeah, down below, this would cinch up under you when you actually get in. And you can cinch this up as much as you'd like. To the point where there's absolutely no, it's kind of like a big stuff sack, if you will, a big bug netting stuff sack. So you can, sort of, close it up as much as you like. But once you actually sit in it, the sides touch right up against the bug netting. So you're not going to have any creepy crawlies coming in, that way. So at any rate, here's the way the bug net looks on here. I used the directions from Frankie's thread and video on this. It was extremely simple to make. I'd recommend. This would be a very easy first DIY project, in my opinion. It was one of the easiest things I've actually ever made, even over stuff sacks and things like that, because I just feel like this no-seam is just so easy to sew. It's so easy to work with, and you don't have to double hem the edges, or I guess French hem or French seam. I'm not exactly sure of the exact terminology, but basically double over, the hem. You don't have to do that because this isn't going to fray or anything. You can see just kind of how it looks on the inside. So at any rate, this is the way it looks on the inside. I used a little bit of the extra no-seam to make a little ridgeline organizer. It's actually just a stuff sack with the same webbing that I used there, just kind of sewn on it. I've got it on some Prussics on my ridgeline there. You can kind of shove your stuff in there and cinch everything up. So kind of keeps everything nicely in there. That's the one downfall of a hammock like this, is you don't have, a shelf or anything like that, like you would with, say a blackbird or something. But, it's nice to have some kind of organization piece like that, just to throw your gloves or your headlamp or something like that. So at any rate, here it is, the side stretch, Knotty inspired side stretch hammock made of 1.1 ounce ripstop from DIY Gear Supply, the Frankie-inspired bug net made from no-seam. That's also from DIY Gear Supply. And there it is. I'm going to definitely test this out a bit more and be on the lookout for additional reviews and such from this, because I can imagine this being a good setup here for me to use, come summertime. So thanks for watching.